Good afternoon, everybody. The time is 12:09 p.m. Thursday, September 11th, 2018. I'm doing this video. I've seen a few other ones of where they were. It's 9/11 today, and I'm just doing it in remembrance of 9/11 and where I was at during the time everything happened. I was in a diner, a small coffee shop, had a little countertop and all on it, and I was eating my grits and eating breakfast, and I had the news on, and there was a news break. I used to go there like about every few times a week, and had the plane going into the one tower, and the first plane into the tower, and I said, "Oh no!" I figured, it was an accident or whatever, and then the second plane. So I called the guy, the owner, and I said, "Look, that's the second plane hit the other tower." I said, "Something's going on." And so then a little while later, then the Pentagon, I said, "We are at war." I said, "Wow, this is World War III." Yeah, everybody was in shock, So, I'm saying this is, brought back the memories of the bombing of Baghdad in 91. I said, we were at war. And then the other plane was lost up in the air, the one that landed in Virginia, in the field. I think it was Virginia. The guys, they were heroes in my book, the ones that took charge of the plane, and, it was life or death situation for them anyway. So, plane went down in the field and it didn't hit nothing. But that's where I was at, eating in a diner not far from my house. TV was playing. I forget what show I used to go in there and watch. You would have on. And then, wow, I was like in shock when that happened. I didn't know what to think. I remember the Gulf War. I was a nervous wreck during that war. I was working then, and I was talking to another guy that was in, and he was in Vietnam and all that, and like he was like sleeping. He didn't. I mean, he had. He was. I said, what's gonna happen? This and that. I remember that talking to him, but the guy was sleeping on his break. Whatever. But that's like the first. During Vietnam, I was kind of young when that was going on, but I don't want to get off the subject here, but yeah, so that's where I was during 9/11, and it brought back memories of the Gulf War. But then they said, it's a whole different world out there now with the terrorists and all, and all that kind of scared me a little bit, but so I wasn't into coin collecting or nothing back then. Then, a little bit, when I got into coin collecting, I had a lot of commemorative sets about that and all that, but I'm getting off track again, but, um, you know, So, I had to go home and tell my mother. I think my brother was still around, and it was, September. Yeah. October, September. Yeah, he was still around, I believe, yes. So it was something, and then watching the news footage later, it was like, you know, the worst thing that still shocks me to this day is just the black shadows of people jumping out of that building. That's like, wow, you know. But, whatever. I wasn't in the city. I was, not near, I was like 80 miles or so from there. But, um, yeah, I had people, friends that were up there and trapped. There was no flying, and he had one friend at a job where he had, he flew around the U.S., for his job, and they were grounded. Everything was grounded, and you know, that's, their stories. But that's where I was eating my grits in a diner and seeing it on the news, and um, I said, World War III, here we come. That was nuts. Um, you know, and then the towers collapsed, and I said, wow, that was like, it's like I can't comprehend that to this day watching that on the news. Wow, when I seen that, I said, something bad is gonna happen, you know, but wow. And then the Pentagon, and oh wow, was just crazy. Then the one in Virginia where the plane crashed in the field. I mean, that was bad enough, but, and wow, into the tower. But then it collapsed, both of them. Seeing that on the news, that was devastating. Um, and the funny thing is, until I seen what's his name's video on here, I wasn't thinking of it. I would have, probably thought of it later, but, you know, but, so I don't know how lucky we are to be over here living in freedom and all that, and, but crazy. I got my camera back, my film camera, um, back. So this is the one I took all my pictures with before I got my digital. So I got to get a battery for it, and these, I had that back from my nephew. It's breaking the ice a little bit, so. All right, take care. Have a good day, and share your remembrance of 9/11. That's my remembrance. God bless.